Right, this is the final part of my four-part series where I talk about whether Chelsea were a big club before Roman Abramovich took over. So on this video, I'm going to be doing something slightly different from what I said before. I'm going to be looking at two things. First of all, I'm going to be looking at top 6 finishes since the war and where Chelsea fit into that. And then I'll also be looking at crowd averages, so who tops the crowd averages since Chelsea existed in 1905. Right, so first of all, I'll take a look at the top 6 finishes. I'm going to do it like a Premier League. So I'm going to do a top 20 in order. So coming in at joint 20th, joint bottom, we have Portsmouth and West Ham. Portsmouth and West Ham have both finished in the top 6 4 times since the war, and I think 5 times since their existence. Then in at 18 is Blackburn Rovers. They've finished, I think, 4 times again, but I put them slightly above the other 2 because they won 11. They've finished in the top 6 on 11 occasions, so obviously 7 of those were before the war. And then we have Sheffield Wednesday coming in at 17, I believe. And Sheffield Wednesday have been in the top 6 7 times since the war, and 19 times overall since their existence. And number 16, we have Manchester City. Manchester City have been in the top 6 8 times since the war, and 16 times in total. I'm just going to add, sorry, this is since the war and before Roman Abramovich took over at Chelsea, just in case people are thinking, Manchester United have been in the top 6 a lot more times than since the war. But I'm just doing this from since the war till Roman Abramovich's takeover of Chelsea. Okay, at number 15 we have Derby County. They've been in the top 6 8 times, and since their existence they've been in the top 6 17 times. And then 14th we have Burnley. Burnley have been in the top 6 9 times, and again 14 times since their existence. Number 13 we have West Bromwich Albion. West Bromwich Albion have been in the top 6 9 times, but I put them slightly above because it's been 15 times since their existence. Then we have Ipswich, strangely enough. I was surprised at this one. So Ipswich have been in the top 6 on 10 occasions. So they are in at number 12, I think. And at number 11 is Newcastle. Newcastle have been in the top 6 on 10 occasions, 21 times in their existence, but since the war before Abramovich, 10 times. Nottingham Forest again, 10 times as well. So because Nottingham Forest are 10 times. Why have I put them below Newcastle? It doesn't matter anyway. So they're both won it 10 times. Aston Villa have done it 12 times. They've been in the top 6 12 times since the war, 28 in total. But obviously, Aston Villa existed before. They're one of the first teams to be formed. And I think they sort of were in the top 6 when they were probably only 16th in the league anyway in the first 10 or 15 years. Then we have Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolverhampton Wanderers, again, I'm surprised at this, 16 times they've been in the top 6 since the war, 18 times in total. And at joint 6th, guys, is that team, that team with no history, Chelsea. Chelsea have actually been in the top 6 on 18 occasions since the war, 19 overall, that's the year, 19 overall since they existed, but 18 occasions since the war. Everton also have been in the top 6 18 times since the war, 27 since they existed. So Chelsea and Everton. So Everton, who a lot of teams are saying were bigger than Chelsea, again, is proven that no, they were kind of on a par with Chelsea. So not bigger. So that's another interesting thing. At number 5, we have Tottenham Hotspurs. 21 times in total, and 20 times since the war. And at number 4, I was really surprised at this actually. It's actually Leeds United. 21 times they've been in the top 6 since the war, and 22 times in total. At number 3 you have Arsenal. 32 times they were in the top 6 since the war, 43 overall. And then you have both Manchester United and Liverpool, who have both finished in the top 6 since the war on 38 occasions. Liverpool edge Manchester United because overall they've finished in the top 6 on 46 occasions, and Manchester United have finished in the top 6 overall on 42 occasions. So there you have it. In the next part of the video we'll be looking at average crowd attendance. So in the next part of this video I'm going to look at crowd attendances, because another thing labelled at Chelsea is that they didn't have a fan base until Roman Abramovich took over, and we all know that song, Where Were You When You Were, there may be children watching it, so I won't sing the exact song, but you know what I'm getting at. Fans singing up and down the country every week when Chelsea are playing. So I'm going to be looking at average attendances, so who's topped the attendance list season by season. So there are only 9 teams on this list because no other teams actually got on this list. So Manchester City coming at number 9. Manchester City have topped the averages on 3 occasions. In at number 8 are Tottenham Hotspurs. They had the highest average attendance on 6 occasions. Aston Villa come next at number 7, and they topped the averages on 7 occasions. Next is a big surprise, you know, the team with the massive support, and you know, the ones who sing that famous song, You'll Never Walk Alone, but they walked alone a few times because they've only topped the averages. Again, they're with Aston Villa actually, so actually the joint 6th, so they come in at joint 6th, and they've only topped the average attendances on 7 occasions. That to me was a massive shock. Next up we have Newcastle United. Newcastle have topped the averages on 9 occasions. And then, guys, who's next? It's only Chelsea, isn't it? Again, this team with no support, but they come in at number 4, and they have topped the averages on 10 occasions. And then next you have Arsenal, who have done it 12 times. Everton have topped the average attendances on 13 occasions, and way out on top with a whooping 49 times of topping the average attendance for a season is Manchester United. During my research I discovered that of the 13 times that Everton topped the average attendance list, 10 of those occasions were before Chelsea existed. So if we take away those 10 occasions, Chelsea actually end up in 3rd place. So not bad for a team with no support and no history. So once again guys, I've proved it beyond doubt that before Abramovich took over, Chelsea had history and they had fans. They won trophies and they were consistently in the top 6. What further proof do you need to say that Chelsea were not a top 6 side?